Hello, and welcome back to Dice Dropping's Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game. Chronicles of House Weirlight. What's up, House Weirlight?
What's up?
What's up, smooth jazz radio announcer?
Yep. This is the R&B edition of... No.
Bailey's already dead.
No.
Off to the side.
But yeah, welcome back, you guys. I'm not feeling 100%, so it's going to be a little bit calmer, a little bit cooler. Unfortunately, our Lord can't make it. Our heir is just running a little bit late, but they'll be with us soon. But we thought we'd get started. So I hope all of you guys took your time, during a little bit of a break we had to, review your notes, see what's going on. But for those of you who didn't, a bit of a recap. Last time, Fielden Hall was host to a celebration, a tournament, a regional tournament. All of the whole region of the Reach was invited, which it's sort of like pretty crazy. But the wealth was spent to house such an event. This, of course, was for the celebration of the twins' birthday party.
Their name day.
Yes, their name day is what we call it in world. The many different people were met, and after the very long introduction to the many different players that have entered the scene, such as House Hightower, House Malister, even Edmure Tully is here, sort of as a +1, but certain events were beginning to kick off, and after some more private time that our young lady got to have with some of her friends, and then got to meet one Patrick Malister, and then after our heir won a race to climb to the top of Fielden Hall, they fell to a fit of visions about Weirlights, something. Some visions we were a little more familiar to us in some things Clarissa and Thorsten had been doing. And now our young heir is brought in on the Weirlight conspiracy, whatever that really means. This was unfortunate due that he had this fit in front of the
one we all liked.
Yeah, a potential suitor of
Potential lady of red wine.
Yeah, yes, young Desmira. Yep, Desmira Redwine. She seemed very understanding and is now under the belief that Henrik has fits, that he is essentially epileptic. So that's the narrative we are running with at the moment.
We are not going to disabuse her of that notion.
No.
Believe it if she'd like.
Yep, she seemed more concerned than anything.
Nice girl.
That, of course, was a very upsetting thing that happened, but most people don't even know it happened. The thing people do know what happened is the arrival of the twins' maternal grandparents. Lord and Lady Adderfell, who made quite a scene as they came into Fielden Hall. They had all of the proper dressings of a very religious Westerland household, in so that they were very entitled and demeaning. Though
doesn't know what animals are.
no, not quite. They are escorted by one of their longtime sworn bannermen. So God, what was your name?
LaForge?
They're Leo
Yes.
LaFord.
Yeah,
Geordie LaForge.
Yeah, yes, Jordan LaForge. Yeah, Sir. Leo LaFord. He was here, which Vivian became very suspect of because originally, before Vivian convinced her parents to marry her to Tedric Weirlight, she was promised to Leo LaFord, which has brought up some suspicion. There is other suspicions at heart. Some mysterious knights have shown up for the tournament, seemingly, along with Clarissa had found that a mysterious knight had apparently talked to her father and is now... and her father seems very happy for some reason. Very
Don't
odd.
like that.
It's a bit odd.
Weird.
So there are many things afoot. So I think we will start with Thorsten.
Yes.
Thorsten, the celebration is in full swing. Most of the party is happening on the sort of in the what was known as the garden, which is sort of this. It's sort of like this southern facing part of the castle, which has a raised lawn, and there's like it's sort of it is a garden with like statues, and most of the festivities are out there, and tents and things being set up. The great hall is, of course, been turned into an area, and there's also the main parlor is also currently filled with 300 butterflies.
Oh yeah, that's still a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So Thorsten, after all the introductions, you of course are kind of free to do whatever. So what are you doing? Party's been going on for a few hours now. It's sort of been like actually like from when everyone got here, it's sort of like the next day. So what is Thorsten up to?
He's going to. I'm going to continue to try to figure out more as much as I can with this Weirlight flower and all of that stuff, just to make it easier in hopefully being able to explain it to the Lord and Lady as well as the kids in the future. I want to make sure I dot my I's and cross my T's.
All right. So what specifically are you doing? Tell me about the stuff you're doing here.
I want to continue to I think I'm gonna just continue to examine the flower, just dissect it, and just keep doing stuff like that, just to the flower itself, without doing anything magic wise with it, like whether it be putting Weirlight blood into it, and just I want to try to understand the flower more before I start experimenting with magic.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Why don't you roll me your this wouldn't really be research. I mean, it's you doing a different kind of research. That's not really what the research role is for.
Education?
Yeah, that probably makes more sense.
Because I'm trying to go off of flowers and stuff.
Yeah, let's say that. Let's get you.
You ready?
I'm ready.
I do get a +4 to it.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, it's good to have you back.
Oh, how I've missed this.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I've missed you guys too.
34. Yeah, so I mean, so here's the thing, Thorsten. it is very difficult to find out really a ton of details about this flower without having in a lot of time pass, because so there are things just like unequivocally sort of about this flower, but a lot of it doesn't make a ton of sense for what a flower should be. Like in your mind, this isn't a flower. It looks like a flower. It blooms like a flower, but this functions sort of like a flower, and so that it is the point of it is to spread more of itself out. Use wind and other things that the reasons flower developed, right? But the root system on this thing is much more complicated than almost any flowers you come through. It is almost more equivalent. The roots of this thing look less like a flowers and almost look like a miniature trees. They're more complicated. Looks like it's designed to be sturdier, which would make sense because the difficulty of picking a Weirlight is an actual thing. You have never been able to, almost any flower in the world you can kind of just reach down and pick, but a Weirlight, you kind of have to struggle with it.
You gotta put some oomph.
You gotta put some chutzpah. Making it sort of weed-like in that way, that it's but it is also weed-like. It's definitely invasive for sure. It's an invasive species. It definitely it doesn't need other plants around to gain nutrients, but it will take them from it if it's growing near anything else.
It looks for the easy way.
Yeah, 100% every time.
Now, my next question with this then would be: is there any other flowers that have been recorded that are similar in roots wise?
Not that you've been able to find. There's flowers have never. While botany is definitely a very stalwart interest in most maesters. Most maesters don't really pay much attention to flowers if they can't be used for something, right? Like if it's not medicinal, they don't. Yeah, if it's not medicinal, they don't really care. They're like, oh, yep, this, I can't poison someone with this, and I can't make someone better with this. This is just sort of a thing, useless. So there isn't really a ton of description of roots and things like that. It's pretty rare that you do find that. There's some drawings, but there's rarely anything that actually, like, if there had been, someone probably would have, and someone had found it, they would have, probably made note of it.
Yeah.
Except, the Weirlights have been seemingly studied before, but
all that information has been stolen.
Yeah, exactly. And like, even though everyone's like, oh yeah, no, people have studied Weirlights, but you've yet to actually find
the research,
the actual research. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now, when it comes to dealing with things of the blood, is blood studied like itself?
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
Not really.
That's what I figured.
People don't really in this time don't really know much about blood. Just that it goes throughout our body and we need it.
Yes, we
Unfortunately, we don't have anything like a microscope or anything that would actually allow us to understand how the hell. Like, we know what happens when we burn blood. We know what happens when blood reacts to some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But why it does that? There's books and books on Maester's guesses. They of course say, I have found that blood is obviously, and they just like say this stuff when it's
random, when it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there was this belief that for like a really long time that babies gained blood from their mothers, like breasts were filled with blood, and like babies didn't have blood before that. which is the most ridiculous thing you ever heard. But 1,000 years ago, apparently that was like a belief certain maesters had. You know, not that any of them had ever touched or really been close to a woman, so that sort of makes sense.
I say
There was a lot of wild assumptions about women 1,000 years ago by maesters.
I think, and so with the education, obviously the role. Anything else besides the roots? Anything weird with like the inside of the flower itself? Like, you know how you can crush.
So, well, there's the seed pod, which to some is a little odd, but I mean, God. So here's the thing, Thorsten, you got a 34, but I didn't write a dissertation on the anatomy of this flower we invented. So I am making all of this up.
You're good.
You're doing wonderfully.
Yes, you are. If I was to take the seed pod and like crush it up into a powder and do experiments on that powder, would I be going off the same role, or would that be a research role?
I mean, no, we'll say that's the same thing. That can be a part of what you've been doing.
Like, you know, with like when you do poppies, you crush up part of the poppy, and that's what makes milk of the poppy.
Well, you boil the pod. So, basically, like you don't really get anything from it. When you boil it and you mix it or you put it into a paste, like it doesn't really do anything. And normally when you crush a seed pod, there's like, it seems like whatever is in these things is more sort of inert. And it should be easier if you're forceful with it. It should spread, but it doesn't. It's just an odd flower. And you've like made a tea out of it. And I mean, well, I guess here's the question. Did you drink it? Did you drink it?
Yes, for my research. Yes, I did. Right. I took a little sip, see what it did, and
you took a little sip, like a little baby sip. Okay,
yeah,
it's just
like just to taste.
It tastes. I don't know. It doesn't really taste
acrid?
good. No, not acrid. It just doesn't really taste good.
Okay.
But you know you wouldn't gain any like effects from that little.
Yeah, I'll take a swig of it just to.
A good swig. All right, cool.
For science,
it tastes not good. It tastes real bad. It tastes metally, like really metallic.
Glad that we're starting this session with a vision quest.
Great.
And Thorsten's gonna wake up 3 days after the tournament. Where the fuck am I?
Just next to a slaughtered doe. So, and if you do drink something, I would very much like you to make a resistance test.
Which is under what again?
So that, my boy, is under the, was it endurance?
Endurance, okay.
Yep.
I don't have resistance, so straight
that's okay.
Endurance roll. You ready?
Yep. 12, that's really good. So you drink it, and it tastes foul. And you feel like you're sitting there and like waiting to record what you feel, and just like the tips of your fingers and toes tingle a little bit, and then you go to the bathroom for like the next hour. As
okay.
As it seemed to have you had a slight adverse reaction, but beyond just kind of giving you a little bit of the runs, like it's not even extreme runs, it's not like food poisoning or anything, but it is like you don't vomit it up, but you do have a adverse reaction on your bowels. But beyond that, like nothing really happens. And the same thing when you make a new powder and do other stuff, like it doesn't seem to.
It just seems to be an inert, weedy flower.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the reason why they never became popular is because you can tell like you can't do anything with these flowers. They're just weird.
It just means I'm gonna have to start getting blood involved now.
Oh bother! Start to have to break out the blood magic. Oh bother!
Oh bother!
You do have a little journal that has a vague description of some blood magic.
I know it. I'm gonna flip through that and just memorize it, just so I can and keep it open. That way, I can always just have it as a reference while I'm doing my experiments with the Weirlight.
It always talks about freshly spilled blood, and it talks about these different words: haruspexy, cruentus, devovum, and piaculum are the seemingly
the words that are consistently said.
Yep. And it talks about it needs some kind of tool called an arthana. Unfortunately, yeah, absolutely. Boom, arthana.
That's how I thought it was spelt. Excuse me. Okay, and unfortunately, what about the tool?
There is no description of what the hell that is. Okay. It's just like use the arthana. It definitely is involved in getting blood. I mean, you've just been using like a knife, but but apparently it talks about an arthana. You're not really sure what that's about. You don't even know if it's fucking important.
Now, I'm assuming I didn't throw away all my little experiments of everything I was doing everything with.
No.
Like, obviously, I still have, I'm assuming, plenty of tea and plenty of the powder.
I would say so. You with the 34.
I would like to add a drop of my blood to each of them, and not all at once, but just like into the tea, see what the effects are, and then into the and so on and so forth.
Excellent, yeah. So a drop of your blood into the tea. And then what else did you want to do?
Like into just a ground up powder.
Sure.
Of the basically the powder before it's made into a tea. I want to take some like of the petals itself, just kind of separate each part of the flower and do it to that and see what the effects are, if there are any, and then work my way up to the whole flower. Basically, I already kind of know what happens when I do that with the whole flower, but I'm trying to isolate and research.
Okay. So you put a drop in the tea. Unless you drink it right away, you're just kind of like, all right, let's see what happens there. You put it into the powder. Something does happen in the powdered when you powder the sea pod and you put a drop of blood. It just sort of like gets wet onto the powder. But then as you move on to the flower, you start noticing it almost looks like a tiny baby trail of smoke is coming out of the powder. But then you realize it's not smoke. It's these little white wispy things. And they just are shooting up. And they're immediately all drifting towards the slight crack in the slight, your kind of window in your tower. And they all just immediately just getting sucked out. They seem to catch on air very easily.
I'm going to go over and shut my window completely just to see if it's still... It looks like it's going towards the window. With like
it is, and it's like pressing up against any kind of small air crack and starting to flit through the small cracks. Because unfortunately, there isn't a really effective way to shut a window in a castle at age. But
do I have?
It seems to be catching on wind very easily.
A glass like a cloche.
Oh yeah, yes you do.
I'm going to put that over the powder and see what.
Do so. Yeah, you do so. It starts to just fill up with the white stuff.
Okay, so it's not moving on its own. It's just going air pressure.
Yeah, you think it's just air pressure.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, I remove it, reopen the window so I don't kill myself from whatever this is.
All right, cool. Fantastic. Yeah, after a little bit it'll stop. But and then you know exactly what happens when you drop your blood in the flour, a little like of those little like dandelion things, and they just sort of slowly drift and slowly move throughout the room. And then you look back at the tea has slowly turned red. Kind of like you're blurred.
I'm gonna smell it. Does it smell any different?
Kind of.
Like, because I'm assuming the tea prior, like, it tasted very metallic and foul. Did it smell metallic at all? Did it have a...
No, not really. It didn't really smell like anything.
What does it smell like now?
Coppery.
For science, I'm going to take a little sip.
You take a little sip.
Same like taste as the sip prior, or
no. It doesn't actually taste that bad anymore.
Probably going to regret this, but I'm going to take a full scientific swig.
It is unfortunately within your character.
It is your flaw.
Yes, it is my flaw.
Risk life, limb, and sanity in the name of knowledge.
Yep.
All right, excellent, cool. Can you make a dedication will roll?
A will. Oh, I get a +4.
Dope.
So 17.
17. That's really good.
That's really good.
That's really good.
But not good enough, right?
So you drink your swig and you sit there for a bit, and you're just like, and you feel tingly. You're starting
like I did prior.
It's all over now. It's slow. It starts at your fingertips and it slowly works its way towards the center of your body, and you feel it get to the center of your chest, and then you feel very light, and you kind of blink and look around, and then as you're sort of
astral projecting.
Astral projecting, no.
Sorry.
I mean, I don't know, maybe. You feel it kind of like, just kind of light and tingly all through your body, and you feel like this lightness in your chest, and then it starts feeling like pressure a little bit in your chest, and then you're starting to find it's kind of a little hard to like take breaths, and you're starting to like cough a little bit. You feel like there's something like caught in your throat a little bit, like that. And I'm just need you to make a endurance resistance roll, my man.
You ready?
Yeah. Hey, well, you're rolling real good. 12 and 3 to 6 is not fucking bad.
I got a 3 in my endurance, so
yeah. You kind of run over to you kind of like throw your office open and run down to the privy stall that's literally just right outside your office, essentially, that dangles over the side, and you just vomit into it. And you immediately feel lethargic, and your vision is swimming. And you're blinking, and like your vision is seeing all kinds of weird colors. But that doesn't last that long, as long as you just kind of on your knees, kind of leaned up on the side, and you're just like, but you then like vomit 2-3 more times, and and then your body just feels really achy. But after that, you feel okay.
Is the consistency of my puke any different than normal?
It was thick and
My
red.
dude.
It was thick and red.
Okay.
Like less like normal bile, almost like it was thick and like gluey almost.
Like coagulated blood?
Yeah, I mean not that color red, not like that deep black. But more like, a very light red.
Okay.
It's like if
The color of the tea?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But it definitely is it's less consistent with like bile and more like mucus almost.
Okay.
It's like if you eat a Frankenberry cereal.
All right, yeah.
Okay, not doing that again.
But I will say, you do feel like maybe you had something there. That maybe if you did that a different way, you might have gotten something. You feel like something was happening, but it just, if you maybe made that tea in a different way, perhaps. What with you and your 34?
Steep it in my own blood?
Listen, you do whatever you want to do. My dude, my guy, my man. Like you do whatever you want. But
Dave, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Are you sure? Do you need to talk, buddy? Right?
But I will say, as you're like thinking and you're just kind of like sitting with the door kind of open, because there's no one up here right now, next to the bench with the hole in it that drops into the sky, that you just puked out of, and just thinking, going like, maybe I added the blood too late or too early, or just something.
Yeah.
More experimentation. And as you're thinking all of these thoughts, Clarissa, as you made it before, you are walking up the stairs, and you just see Thorsten sitting next to his privy, like deep in thought, with like red stained on his beard.
Thorsten?
Yes?
Are you okay?
Just experimenting. And I will explain everything I have done.
Just sitting there, like, so this is
This is where I'm at.
You drank it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good, I suppose. Also, exciting, I think. I really don't know how to feel. You've got blood all over you.
I don't think it's blood. It doesn't taste like blood. Or does it?
a little bit.
Okay, so it does taste like blood.
A little coppery, a little salty.
Yeah. Okay, it was worth experimenting once.
I'm sure you'll do it again. I mean, there's nothing anyone is going to do to stop you, especially me.
That's true,
But
it's very true. But I will make sure to have somebody else around next time. That way, if something does bad happen, they can attempt to be my maester.
Yes, I also have bad news we probably need to discuss.
What would that be?
It would seem the Weirlights are going after the children.
Great. That means it's probably time to bring Tedric and Vivian in and let them know everything going on, even though we don't have an answer for most of it.
Thorsten, I understand where you are here with this, and it's your family. But I really don't think that's the best decision.
Yeah, but we think of it this way, though. If something happens to them and we could have done something by letting them know, then what?
We can tell them to stay away from the flowers, to look out for them, but anything farther than that, there's no point. Discussing the blood magic with Lord Tedric or Lady Vivienne, it's not. We don't have any answers. I could get them soon. I actually need to speak to Claude about that, but
Okay,
at this point, we're just doing more harm than good.
we can hold off a little longer then.
Thank you. Oh, Henrik knows everything. I'm sorry. I kind of dropped the lead.
BT
How
goes.
does he know everything? What?
He was pulled into one of the visions by a Weirlight that was on the roof.
Oh,
Also, interesting note about that. I could feel it when it happened. I knew something was wrong with one of them.
now with that being said, Anthony, did I have that same feeling because I've been experimenting with the flowers?
No.
No. Okay. I wasn't here during that session, so I wanted to make sure.
No, you're just happily experimenting away.
Okay.
But this is great news. It means we have access to airblood.
True.
Yes, I knew you'd agree.
And you, a little bit of a smirk and a grin. It immediately flashes back. I'm like, no, I can't be like that with my nephew.
Or can I? No.
The internal struggle.
He's not technically a nephew anymore. You did have to disown your family or whatever.
True.
Yes. But I will let you
You're not
resume.
helping his case.
Oh, that's not my responsibility. But I will let you resume vomiting and go back to my paperwork. But
Okay.
don't consume any more without supervision, Thorsten.
I will not.
Good.
Oh my god. All right.
Don't drink alone.
So we go back down to the group out on the garden area where all of the parties outdoors, and many people are remarking on the floating white wisps that have covered the sky and area at the moment, and people are remarking at their like beauty and wonder, and everyone's like, "Oh, I wonder what that's about."
Are they clouds or are they?
No, definitely not clouds. They look like little white wisps that are just floating on the wind,
Oh, very pretty.
raining down on people, and people seem to enjoy them. It's like, oh, how beautiful.
This is weird. I didn't orchestrate this.
Yeah, you didn't, but you also know that Nika Thraus has done many things.
He has. Well, I didn't sign off on this. I really like it. Everyone seems to be enjoying it, so that's fine.
Yes, and of course, Naimora and Mariella, you also see this. You're just like, oh, not sure what that's about, but looks quite nice.
Pollen's really thick today.
Maybe
no,
out a
maybe
window,
not.
like after I've scrounged up like the 7-pointed star pendant thing. My grandparents like, okay.
Yeah, no, definitely no one thinks it's pollen because people don't know what the hell that is.
That's true.
They're just like, oh, look at these lovely little wisps.
When it was being dispersed after it came out the window, was it still in a cohesive shape, or did it just?
You're not sure. You shut the window.
Yeah, but then I also said I reopened it to let all this stuff out.
Yes. So when you had it kind of gathered on the cup, and when you opened it again, it didn't catch on the wind anymore. It almost looked like a clump of a cotton ball.
Interesting.
A wild Aaron has appeared.
Mm-hmm.
I shall rearrange things so then we can see her.
Did with that happening there? Did it when I reach out to touch it? Did it feel like it had substance, or was it still?
Hey. Feel like it did. It felt like cotton.
It felt like cotton,
Mhm.
and that was from adding a drop of blood to the powder.
Yep. Well, welcome, Aaron. Welcome, Henrik.
Welcome.
Hi guys. Sorry,
We're-
late.
You was
We're-
good.
Good.
We're currently seeing the after effects of some blood experimentation.
Oh,
Mhm.
fun! Nice. Came right
Yep.
at the good part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Thorsten vomit.
Um,
That's great.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. After drinking blood tea.
It was thick and light red.
Mm-hmm.
Horrifying.
With that actually happening with just the couple drops of blood in the powder, I'm going to grind up some more powder. And I'm going to add more. I'm going to add a little bit more blood than last time, but I'm going to immediately put the glass cloche over it. And
Yeah. If you sit and wait, you'll suddenly just see it start going, and it just fills with white almost after. Like you have to wait like a minute or two, and then it just starts filling with white, and then it's just white.
I'm gonna let it be for a little bit, just because you said it kind of has a substance, a feeling to it. I'm trying to create more of it. That way, I can experiment with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excellent. So, then we will. We're outside. There's this weird display of white everywhere. But Mariella, you have retrieved your 7-pointed star.
Yes.
What do you do?
I was informed my grandparents wanted to see me.
Mm-hmm. You were.
Yeah. I've acquired it. It is now on my person, being worn. I figure I commandeer a servant, and unless Clarissa had told me where my grandparents would be.
I don't think she did because she didn't know because she had left them.
That's cool.
They're here.
They're here. So I think. Oh god, this is gonna be way back in the notes. I probably grab one of like the older, like kind of higher up servants if I see any, like kind of running around, like still kind of settling rooms. And
Yeah, grabbing your
like basically be like, my grandparents have arrived and I've been told I should see them. Where are they?
Yeah, I think they're just like like
Adderfells.
like like the servant man he like nods like Mariella, you're pretty sure you know this guy's name. It's not coming to you, but you like it's in your head. And he's just like, I did see them at your mother's I think at Our Lady's shading. I don't know. I think they might have moved on from there. They might be in the center courtyard with the fountain.
All right then. Kind of going through. Oh god, this is like way back to session 1. I believe we had an older servant named. I have their name written as Belinda, along with been there forever.
Yeah, she's sort of like ahead of a lot of the female staff, and like she runs parts of the kitchen and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'll probably head towards where the servant had kind of like guessed where they are, but I'm gonna check in with Belinda and be like.
So so right now Belinda is in the kitchens because they are nonstop making food due to the insane amount of people here. But Belinda, you know she would probably be organizing flow in and out of the kitchen.
Yeah, and if anything, I can be like, did any of your girls see where the Adderfells are?
Yeah. If you want to if you want to kind of traipse down that area, there are so many servants here, more than you think your family has, and it is. I mean, Marilyn, you've never really seen the back part of your castle much. You've been to the kitchens all the time.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you went in there all the time, but it is it's a nightmare. I don't know if you've ever been.
It's a 3-ring circus right now.
Yeah, a restaurant in Rush Week, and
yeah,
it's a nightmare. Belinda kind of definitely is like, oh my, my lady, I know where they'll be seated tonight, but
that's fine.
They don't. Like it definitely seems like a lot of the staff here look like they haven't stopped moving in hours,
if not like a full day. And everything. Then I guess I'm heading to
Belinda's face is just red.
Yeah,
essentially.
I don't keep her very long. It's like if she seems like she's floundering, it's like, nope, it's fine. I'll go hunt. But I'll go and see if they're in that courtyard area.
Yeah, so it takes you, I would say, the better part of an hour to get to the courtyard area, because you are stopped every 2-3 steps by people wishing you a happy name day, people, just everyone just wanting your attention and to talk to you. They, even if it's just for a moment, to comment on your hair, like, oh, you look so beautiful, darling. Like, good to see you. And like, oh, like a great name day. I'm sure you remember my wife and her brother, and it's just very
my cousin's second son, and and yes.
Yep. A hearty third of the people that stop you definitely mention the fact that you're not married. And just comment like you've yet to a husband has yet to earn you, or some very tactful, but also at the same time, since they're bringing it up, not that tactful version of that.
Just moderate side note, it as soon as the dude could not give me a direct location of my grandparents, the necklace is not getting worn. It is probably in my hand or in a sleeve or something. It's like, as soon as I get close, I will put it on. But other than that, no. It's like, I think she would be charming and do the side step kind of thing. And it's like,
Why don't you give me a roll to see how how
charming?
Yeah. So this is obviously the charm roll.
Cool. Persuasion, charm. Because we've got the ridiculous extra bonus from money, it's a 23.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. That's 3 degrees of success. You gracefully are just like, oh yes, no, not yet. Very astute of you. You're very on the know many of the gossip. If you excuse me, and very. You're very charming and disarming. Many people are so one person oh, I heard you haven't been married yet. There's no shame of that. My son isn't married either. And it's just yeah, and it's a lot. It's a lot of that. There are also several young gentlemen who ask if they could have a dance later in the evening, or at least you assume they're trying to, as you just oh, lovely to see you, as you just are attempting to navigate. But even with your high charm, it still takes you an exorbitant amount of time to cross your own garden. What with the amount of people here, definitely, at least your outfit's working. People are noticing it. You eventually But by the time you are approaching them, also I will just say, Vivian, you have been occasionally you are updated where your daughter is, just on occasion. And a servant comes over and does tell you your daughter is in the courtyard near the fountain. And they just occasionally tell you where your daughter is, just
Excellent.
just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of so just for your own information.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get close, Mariella, you do you
Do I hear them before I see them?
Yes.
Necklace goes on. Yeah.
Yeah. You hear your grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
So you just hear, horrid, dirty things. They're like, why are they even allowed near good folk? And you're like, you get it away, and you hear some people apologizing, and you see some people ushering peacocks away.
Mm-hmm.
And you see your grandmother, who in her very elegant and at least well-made dress, which she always has this style that's very much like almost like a nun habit almost.
Yeah.
But more of that flat thing, little skin showing.
The devout sister septa.
Yeah, very much.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but if greed was a virtue, it was essentially what they would be dressed as. And then, of course, you see your grandfather, because he's very tall. He stands quite a bit. You hear your grandmother, you see your grandfather, and they seem to be talking to some folk, and your grandmother seemed to be complaining that why they would allow such creatures to walk about the party and stuff. And some people were like, oh, well, peacocks are, just talking about the reach, and just goes, in the reach may be fine, but where I am having fun, we have different standards, I suppose. It sounds like your grandmother hasn't changed much.
Yeah, lovely.
But you appear. And your grandfather sees you first, and he smiles. His eyes, as usual. Last you remember your grandfather's eyes, he had a very fixed sort of stare. But you do recognize he looks older. You realize you're sort of finding into the age when you're starting to realize.
Notice the passage of time.
That your grandparent. You're noticing the passage of time. He looks older. He looks more tired. His eyes definitely show that. His eyes look softer and more tired. And he gives you a very, maybe a little surprising, not quite surprising. He's giving you similar looks. A very soft, warm look and smile. And he just goes, oh. And he just smiles. He doesn't call out to you or say anything. He just smiles when he sees you. And you look at him. And he just inclines his head, and he seems to either wait for you to get closer or whatever you're going to do. Unfortunately, due to the height of your grandmother, you will not see her until you are upon her.
That's I think I smile, and I kind of go towards towards my grandfather first.
Yeah, you do notice there is seemingly a gap between them. And as you come up, he says, almost softly, he goes, hello, darling. And he just gives you a hug.
Yep. Accepted.
He goes, you look well. You look like a woman.
I imagine I don't look like the child I last was since you saw me.
No. I think no, I would think not, no. But you look divine. And he kind of goes, grandmother will be happy to see that, and he points.
I think it's kind of like a shared look. It's like,
Yeah. He seems to have like approve, but he is. Yeah, you definitely. Yeah, he definitely seems calmer than the last you sort of remember your grandfather.
Moderately less rigid.
Hmm. Like happy, like not. I know it's not quite yet, but happy name day.
Thank you. And I kind of like look. Where is she?
Yeah, you see her. She's really like 10 feet to your right. She hasn't noticed you yet. But your grandfather seemingly just continues, and he just goes, "So, I hear you've been through quite some excitement lately."
Well, one never says Westeros is a dull place.
No, unfortunately, and you went to on. Well, if danger is a sense of excitement, it is a rather exciting place in the south. What with everything going on right now. So it seems like you had a atypical response to King's Landing. Very fraught place. Not a good place. But you seem to have come out all right.
We were lucky, yes.
I don't think luck has much to do with it. Is it true that your brother got farther in the joust than your uncle?
He missed the finals by one match.
Just seems deeply satisfied by that, but maybe not for Henrik. He just kind of nods and goes, "Well, I must congratulate him when I see him. It's very sweet of you to come over and talk to us. Is there something you needed, or just looking to catch up?"
Mostly to catch up. I know that it was probably an exhausting trip, so rather than have you search myself out.
Like very kind, very gracious, good hostess. Does it matter? He just kind of and he kind of straightens himself, kind of shakes his head as if he's shaking like a fog from it. And he goes, "Yes, well, it's very good to see you. I'm very glad we are here." And you just hear Mariella to your right, and
Grandmother.
you see
Anastasia.
You see your grandmother immediately hoving over to you.
Good word. Good word.
Thank you. And approaching you, she is, I believe, a bit shorter than you, Mariella. She's a short woman, and she comes up and grabs your shoulders and gives you a very quick, tight hug, and then shoves you back, like grasping your shoulders. There is a definite strength in her, like kind of meatier, chubbier arms. Was let me get a look at you. Fine colors for the reach, I suppose. Representing well. They in here in this land, I see. You're always such a good girl. Make your mother proud. Not like your mother. And she's just stating all this out loud. And she looks left and right. "I'm so glad we found you. We were looking all over, weren't we, dear?" And he was just like, "Yes, all over." "Speak up, dear. This party, people being quite loud." He just kind of nods.
Speaking of people, how many other people are in this courtyard?
Oh, dozens.
Dozens? Okay.
dozens upon dozens. You're literally, I want to say, 3 feet from a group of people. Like, there's a lot of people who are 100, and they're all having their own conversations. But people 100% can hear all of this.
Okay, yeah.
Just for your information. So have you been doing well? I heard you went to King's Landing. Did you visit the Sept of Baelor? Get consecrated.
With everything going on, unfortunately, the city kept us away.
I don't blame you, darling. Of course, your mother, of course, I'm guessing, kept you from it. Don't worry. One day, we will take you there and get you properly consecrated in the Sept of Baelor. Only the best for my granddaughter. Now, now, how are you? How are you? Keeping up with your studies? Yes?
Indeed. In fact, had a few lessons with Septa Myrtle before much of the festivity.
Good. Excellent. Yeah, yes, you're a proper woman now. You should know the 7-pointed star, backwards and forwards, though don't recite it back from it. That's blasphemy.
Most recently, we have been focusing on the Crone's Wisdom.
Ah, yes. Crone's Wisdom. Much wisdom. Very good. Always like that, Myrtle. Glad she is able to stand this place. Truly a woman of gods. Yes, I'm so sorry that you have to be down here in this place. And she's looking at this lovely roving hills and this just gorgeous area, and she's just scowling at it.
Peacock in the distance.
Very much so.
Well, the maiden did decide to at least grace the home and surroundings of your grandchildren with a very beautiful vista.
Yes. I suppose is lovely to look at, but when you're staring out there, what of your soul? What of in here? Yes, all that is very nice. The beauty of a harlot might also be seen as very lovely to look at, but it doesn't do much for your soul. And oh man. And she goes, yes, but we need to talk about now. You are a woman grown, my dear, and she cups your hands. And I am so happy. You are so beautiful and kind, and obviously well versed. And that is, of course, of our blood in you. Just patting your hand a bunch. But it is, of course, time. I'm so glad you mentioned the maiden. To, of course, marry. Yes?
That would definitely be in my future.
Of course. But... your close future. You are a woman grown. It is time. I don't want you having to becoming a creature to your mother. It is time you have your own household. Your own servants. Obviously. I mean, look at you. You're more than ready. I can tell, even though it has been many years, I can already tell you are more than ready. Which is why. Sorry, 1 second. Where did it go? Oh, come on.
They're lost to the sands of time. Cannot matchmake me. They're gone.
Ha. Nope, too bad. Found it.
Damn!
Yes, there is a young, a young man who I think would be absolutely perfect for you. We've already talked to him, and they are already excited about the idea. All you would have to do is meet and make the match official. Don't worry, this is why I'm here. And isn't that exciting?
I can only imagine that you've done the same for Henrik.
What, Henrik?
He is a man grown. Wouldn't you want?
Of course. And as a man, he must find a bride. As the warrior must seek that out. That is his journey. That is so kind of you to be considerate of your brother. But no, your brother will find his bride. He will know what is right, and hopefully, you will be able to persuade Sir Tybalt, and become his bride. It's very exciting.
Hoopst.
Could I do like a status breeding? Like who the F is this dude?
Sure.
All right, come here, sheet. Status breeding. 19.
So unfortunately, you don't have a last name. So Tybalt isn't an uncommon name.
Okay.
So there are a few Sir Tybalts. Maybe not Sirs. You've heard a few people named Tybalt throughout. It's hard to pin down. It's obviously someone from the Westerlands because
Obviously, they've only tried to hook me up with Westerland guys. Yeah.
But they've never tried to hook you up with someone named Tybalt before.
Okay.
Normally, you remember your grandmother's creatures. If you get his surname out of your grandmother, I will just give you all the information on him.
I do think I kind of like look at my grandfather like what?
You just immediately go
like in reference to Sir. Tybalt?
He looks at you and he goes, "Heir of Crakehall," and then you go, "Oh," and you know that Sir Tybalt Crakehall, House Crakehall is a major house within the Westerlands. Their castle is called Crakehall. Their arms are a black and white brindled boar on brown. And their motto is "None so fierce." They are ruled by Lord Roland Crakehall. And Lord Roland, of course, he distinguishes himself being part of the Lannister army that sacked King's Landing. That was like a big thing he did there. And he was actually, with a 19, that Roland Crakehall was witnessed Jaime Lannister killing Mad King Aerys. He's one of the few. He's like one of the 10 people who saw him kill him. So that's a thing. And his heir, his eldest son, is Tybalt, who is an anointed knight. You also know he has 2 younger brothers, Sir Lyle, who is commonly just known as Strongboar, and Sir Merlin, who is the youngest. And
do I know how old this dude would be?
Oh, what, Sir Tybalt?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how old Sir Tybalt is? He's like 32. A little older than your mom.
I have to find it.
Yeah, no. not like my parents' age. This is,
Yeah, he's like a little younger than your dad.
No.
How old is Patrick Mallister again? He's like
20.
Young
he's
20s.
Like yeah, he's like 22-ish.
Okay.
21, 22, around there. But yeah, no, that's them. You also know that both of Sir Tybalt's sisters have been married to Frey boys. Frey boys.
Oh, you're disgusting.
They have good connections with House Frey as well as House Lannister.
Okay.
Also, Sir Roland's brother, who he inherited the seat from, was Jaime Lannister's Night Father.
Okay.
So the Great Call definitely is like a prominent family of the Westerlands and of the Lannisters for sure. But they're very. What did you get? A 19? Yeah. That's like two degrees success. Two degrees. 2 degrees.
I'm no Thorsten, but I do pretty good with breeding normally.
You do. I mean, the Great Hall men are known for being large and strong and masculine. Strong Boar, Tybalt's younger brother, is known for that, for, having killed a wild boar with his bare hands. They're all known to be quite strong, physically intimidating, masculine, which you also know means like quite hairy, quite, very much have a musk to them.
Not a reach way around about them. Yes. Yeah.
No. And you also know that Sir Roland's wife is obscenely religious.
Yeah.
Crake Hall has a gilded sept. The roof is inlaid with gold.
All right. Yeah, this paints a very vivid picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
And your grandmother's looking up to you. She has such genuine excitement in her little face. She looks so happy.
Yes. Normally I don't have this much of an audience when I redirect my grandmother and kind of turn this away.
Like, it's a good match. Don't worry. Of course, he's a widower. His wife died, but that's because, but she, we all know she was a bit not quite right in the head. And he is willing to. He trusts my and your father's knowledge. Not your father. Your grandfather, word, and that you are obviously quite in your in your right mind. You didn't hear that, though. You did not hear that he was a widower.
No, that's news. Possibly recent, which is why I haven't heard of it.
You didn't hear you didn't know he was married, so.
Well, I believe most plans for my future at the moment are being considered but on hold. You know, I like put a hand over hers as she's like holding mine.
Yeah.
You know how generally some consider our house to be very irregular.
I suppose. Don't worry, I've already informed them of how lovely you are, and don't you worry about your mother and whatever, I'm sure, machinations she has. We can supersede them, eh?
I, with my parents, had both discussed my going to Highgarden to understand the workings of a noble house and things of such nature.
You won't learn anything to run a noble house from Highgarden, girl. No. You won't have to know that. I'm sure Crake Hall You'll learn from Sir Roland's wife, Septina. Septina, I'm sure, would be ecstatic to teach you all she could. I mean, she's already raised 2 daughters who are grown and married her own. And you learn everything you need to run Craig Hall from someone who ran it before you. And then you'll, of course, give Tybalt many beautiful children. And we can just skip all of that nonsense.
Unfortunately, though, as taught by the 7, we honor our word when an agreement is made.
I don't recall your mother ever enforcing that.
But you have told me that I should try to keep such teachings and things.
But we also, know that a word given to those of foul nature is not an oath worth keeping. Now, of course,
have you met such individuals in order to determine that quality?
No.
Then I'm going to have to stay with my word, for I would like it to stay pure.
You are already sworn to someone.
Hmm?
You are already sworn to someone.
I am sworn to go to Highgarden to learn.
She kind of looks at you strangely, as if
I'm to be a handmaiden to the youngest of the Tyrell children.
She shakes her head as if oh, my dear.
And kind of look at my grandfather, and it's
he's just he has the face of don't look at me.
No. Like to get a read of how he's interpreting the situation, to see if it's gonna be a 2-front war or just a 1-front war.
He's just staring at you, and he's just has an eye quirked, and he's a little hard to read, but he's just sort of he's not saying anything.
Okay, that's cool.
It's yes, but he goes, you don't. There is no oath in our culture that is sworn for to be a handmaiden.
No,
if you are not promised to another young man, then there is no oath broken. Then there is no problem.
But you are then telling me to break my personal word, saying that I would go.
You have, you told this directly to the youngest Tyrell girl, Marjorie?
I have told her household, yes.
You have told, well, my darling, this isn't an oath. That's not an oath. Things change. If you get married, engaged today, you can't go off and be a handmaiden. That's not an oath. Trust me, you'll be fine. You are young. You don't know the ways of the world yet. It definitely seems like whatever you're currently abating your grandmother, it is are you sworn to a man? Nope, doesn't matter. Is essentially seems to be her opinion. Just run. Yeah. So if you want to try and leave the conversation, you can. But if you want to engage your grandmother in an intrigue, seems like this is where it's going.
Yeah, sure.
So if you do, what is your goal of the intrigue?
Hold on. Let me pull up a PDF because I need that. Okay. Come to me, chapter 8. you are my combat rules.
It can't go
Okay,
worse.
objective. Alrighty. Friendship, information, service, deceit. Oof. I don't. Basically, the goal I want to do. It's the main objective, and I think it's seeing how their phrasing it. I don't know if it's like friendship or service, but basically I want to have like the conversation just dropped, and I'm basically trying to it'll probably end up being my method is convince
Mhm.
that you primarily using the example of being an honest, true individual. It's like I've already made an agreement,
Right.
and it's although this is a very generous extension that she has given me, it's it. I
So,
can't.
are you trying to convince your grandmother to give up trying to marry you to Sir Tybalt?
I would love that, but I don't know if that's
Yeah. I was saying, is that the goal of this intrigue?
yeah. I
Okay.
kind of I
So
want it
that would
dropped.
I think that would probably. So I mean, are you doing that by? It doesn't sound like you're trying to deceive your grandmother.
No.
So
I'm trying to figure
yeah,
out if it's friendship or
say-
service.
I mean, technically, it'd be service. It would be like,
Okay.
hey, could you like basically get call that off? Because according to her, she's already talked to the family.
Like
and-
she has taken it upon herself to be my representative, and it's like no.
Yikes. Yikes.
Yep. All right. Fantastic. Great. So we have that established. And you said you're going to try to do convince. You said.
Well, it's like personally, I would love charm. It's just it sounds
Mhm.
like it's more of a convince thing. Let me double check.
Yeah. I mean, convince is you. Convince generally imparts your position or idea by simply putting the idea out there in a reasoned and logical manner. It's generally a more forceful way of doing it.
Okay.
Charm is when you're trying to weave.
Yeah,
and
then I
kind
think
of
this is charm.
like obviously I'd love to, but I have all of these things. Convince is like, grandma, I ain't marrying fucking Sir Tybalt. I'm
I ain't
doing my
doing it.
own thing. Like that's convince. Convince is like, Mima? No.
I would pay you 10 dragons.
Yeah. Where charm is like, oh my dearest grandmother, though I love you and I know you work so hard, I am been slaved to these other obligations, and woe do I. Like, that's
yeah,
that-
we're charming. We're charming.
okay. That sounds
I know
yeah.
better than to go, Grammy,
Yeah.
we gotta talk.
Yep. Understood. All right. Sounds good to me. All right. So why don't you roll
Disposition.
that? Yeah, what is your disposition? I mean, she's your grandma.
She's my grandma. But the thing is, like, it's weird. I don't want to say like estranged because that's not the right word, but it's not
No,
like
you're not strange.
it's not like I'm dealing with Vivian or Henrik or
Right,
like
yeah.
the house.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, like you've had correspondence with your grandparents. Your grandparents have been a part of your life, right? It's not like
Yeah.
you're just now meeting them or
Oh
something.
no. But I'm wondering, is it enough where it's a case between like friendly and affectionate, or
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see an argument between friendly.
because I don't see
and-
anything less than friendly. It's like
Yeah.
they are family and they've been involved with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably say friendly because I mean it's your grandma and
Yeah.
she's gonna do shit for you and she loves you.
Yeah, okay.
I know it's probably not affectionate because you're not that close with her, but she's your grandma.
All right. So I just kind of wanted. Okay, so friendly. So yeah, we'll just roll that lovely
Mm-hmm.
status plus reputation.
13. Okay, so you're going first.
Nice.
So what's your attack? What's your thing? What you doing?
Actions. There we go. Um, I I think I'm gonna start with a consider. I'm just gonna let her talk for the first.
Okay. Consider. All right. Very nice. You just go, hmm. You go, hmm. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, she's just going to just
Attack, yes.
I attempt to influence you and just be like, oh, it will be lovely, dear. Don't worry, you won't have to listen to your horrid, mother or whatever, 10-year plan she has for you, you. Don't worry, we can get you, you can get married by the end of the month, and just, yeah. So, okay, so what's your defense?
Mine 12.
Yeah, 12. All right, cool. So, yep, that's a degree of success.
Oh, I don't see the roll, so.
Oh, can you not see the roll?
Nope. It's okay. You can just.
Okay.
You're fine.
Uh.
Roll 20 is just doing that
Okay.
thing.
I'm gonna have to do that. All right. Is it cool that you don't see the roll?
Yeah,
Is that right?
it just you give me whatever numbers and I will respond back. It's cool.
Okay.
Low stress. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah. So you. So one degree of success. So unfortunately, this position only gives you a -2, and with her, so she would get.
Is she doing like what is she?
Yeah, I'm looking at.
Yep.
Yes, she is. She is doing convince. So she deals you 6 damage.
Okay. Does that include the soak that I take or whatever?
No. So then your soak would take away because you're friendly. What, 2?
Yeah, it should be 2.
Yeah. So it takes
it'll
away
be
2.
4.
Takes away 4.
Nice.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fast talk.
Okay.
Make a persuasion test against the target's passive will.
All right.
So I get to add 2 dice to any bonus. So do we count this as just straight persuasion, or is this like persuasion charm?
This would just be straight persuasion, but you did consider, so you get to add your 2 bonus dice.
Okay, so I'll just roll the charm because I've got 2 built-in bonus dice.
There we go.
So it's already got the stuff. 23.
That does not beat her passive will.
It doesn't beat her passive will.
No.
Oh,
we get a +2 for any. So.
Oh, that would count. Then that does it because her passive will is 24.
Jesus.
Yep.
Have I not painted a stubborn woman?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So then you just do it. You just eke it. So fast talk.
She loses her cunning rank from this intrigue defense until the end of the next exchange.
Unfortunately, you need to achieve 2 degrees of success. Yeah. If you achieve at least 2 degrees, the target loses their cunning rank from the intrigue defense.
Damn.
Next exchange. Yeah. So unfortunately, due to how high her passive will is, you unfortunately cannot do it.
She has a oh god, she's got a will of 6. Okay. All right. That paints something. She can beat me in a will. She can beat me in a war of attrition.
Yeah.
Lovely. Awesome.
She doesn't have much else, but she
Lovely.
does.
Awesome.
She's very stubborn, and she knows her beliefs. Very, very, very. She knows them.
I believe it is you then, if it doesn't work.
Oh gosh, yes, it is me. Yes. Thank God she's got that +5. But yeah, so she's once again just hammering at you and be like, and don't worry. And at the end of the celebration, if you want to do it, we can come. You can come away. I think with us, we have an extra carriage just for you, darling. And you can take, of course, your favorite servants. I don't want to deny you of that. My granddaughter should only have exactly what she wants, and 7 willing, and she just kind of began talking about how great it's going to be, and you're going to be taken care of, and basically everything that your mother is not really taught you about things. Oh yeah, barely. So that's 13. So God, even with her, because of, I don't think you need to guess that her disposition is affectionate.
Yep.
Because she loves you.
Yeah.
So she's persuading you, but even with her +5, she's not a charming woman.
No.
So
So there'd be another 4 if it's a single degree.
Yeah, it would be another 4.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. We're gonna. Oh, man. That won't work. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. No. I think we're gonna do influence. With charm, just kind of. Oh man. We'll see how this shows in a hot second. 20 plus, so that's 22 with our lovely little wealth bonus.
So what are you doing right now?
Basically, I am trying to be like that's very gracious. However,
Sorry, are you influencing?
Influence, yeah.
Okay, yes. So that does get her by 1, 2, 3 degrees.
I have a rank 4 persuasion.
All right. So that's 12 damage to her, -1, so 11. Unfortunately, she has a quite fucking high composure.
Yeah, I know.
So
I've made up the slight difference though in damage dealt.
oh, I would say so. You're in the game. Yeah, so 11. So yeah, you're just kind of being like, oh, I have this, but and I do look and honestly, I do look forward to it. And she's just like, just yeah, she's very like thinking on it. And this round she's going to consider, and she just kind of goes like, it is your turn.
Oh man, I'm almost tempted to do withdraw. I've never done it. Just to add up extra defense on things. But I feel like I need to keep hitting Grandma because she's got the health of a final boss.
She does.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do the withdrawal. So that's a roll test. I don't have dedication. So that's will.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I do have dedication. I have 1 in dedication.
So are you influencing or no?
Am I influencing? No, I'm gonna do a withdraw to shore up the defense because she's considering. 19.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. I don't think she actually can hit you with that. Yeah, so no, she can't, no. So yeah, then that means she is also going to do the same thing.
Cool.
She's just like, you're just kind of like, you kind of like show up and be like, well, this is something I really want, and this is what I sort of believe in. And she goes, well, my dear, basically talks about her own beliefs. So yeah, so hit the button. So she got a 25.
Oh, that's disgusting. I can see it now. Congratulations, whatever you did.
You can?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh, cool. Why?
I don't know.
Because it's under Desmira red wine.
But I'm not.
It's
I'm
showing
not even
Desmira.
on their sheet.
It's because the thing at the as thing at the bottom might be under Desmira.
I don't know what's happening.
As long as you are rolling from the right sheet, we know who.
Yeah,
We're fine.
I'm definitely rolling from
You're
the right
good.
sheet.
Don't worry about it.
Let roll 20 do whatever the fuck it wants to do. 'Cause it's
Okay.
going to anyways. We know what you're rolling. So.
You're fine.
But why can you see?
I don't know.
I don't
Because
know.
roll 20
Okay.
because it's roll 20, asshole.
Okay,
That's
so
That's why.
she just did withdraw.
Yeah, she did the same thing, and she got a. It seems if you want to enter a battle of attrition with her, she will.
That's
Glad.
cool. I'm doing consider my round.
All right, consider.
Mhm.
Excellent. So, boop-a-doo, because you did withdraw. Okay, then she. Then she is going to consider herself.
Lovely. So she's back down to her normal.
Yep, as are you.
Yep, that's cool. Influence, charm.
Mm-hmm. Go for
We've
it.
got 2 extra bonus dice. 16. That's
16.
for extras.
Yeah, that is 2 degrees of success.
So that's 8, and then whatever she does for soak.
-1, so 7. So she is going to take a point of frustration,
Nice. Getting to her.
trying to get through to this silly girl. Now, of course, you know she can take many points of frustration.
Yes, you can.
But yeah, she's going to take a point of frustration and just.
I think part of what like the charm is like she'll quote something from like the book of the 7-pointed star and things of that nature with how it's very becoming of a woman to like learn and train and like prepare herself for steps to come and whatever.
Yeah, her frustration definitely isn't coming like she's not getting mad at you at all. She seems to be mad like that she can't get through to you. Like, no, dear, you've done all that. You're ready. Now you're gonna get married, and then you just have to not think for the rest of your life. It's great. Don't you worry. Yeah, so she's getting a little frustrated, and she's going to go. She can hit you with the convince.
Cool.
And yeah, she kind of is like, but dear, that she basically says, but dear, you've done it. You've prepared all your life for this moment, and now you can get married to a good family and not have to worry for the rest of your life. All you have to worry about is what you've been taught, how to please your husband and get and give him heirs, and then and your life will be set in luxury for all time. Like, just let your grandmother take care of it, and we can get this done so quickly. Yeah. So, do you see that one?
No.
Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Dedication's allowed. Everything else, no.
Because we roll 20 and life is a fucking nightmare.
What
Okay.
is it?
Okay, so she got an 18.
Okay.
Um,
My defense was 12.
hmm Yeah, so sorry, 17. So that would be 2 degrees of success.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 12 damage minus 2 would be 10.
10. Okay. I would have to take frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 18. My composure is 12.
All right.
Do I need to take more than 1 point of frustration to deal
You
with
would.
that?
I mean, you would have to. Yeah. If you wanted to get rid of, because I think I know how much you have left. You'd have to take 2 points, I think,
Okay.
because it's equal to minus is equal to your will rank, but you also can take as many as equal to your will rank.
Yeah, my will is 4.
Yeah, so I think if you took 2 points of frustration, that would be enough to save you.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take the 2. I'm marking that down as wounds, or
Yes, it would be the equivalent of. Well, I think wounds is the more devastating one because it takes away dice.
well, for
That's what it's supposed. You get dice
what it's
taken away
gonna
for
do, though.
frustration.
With frustration, it would take away from my pool.
Mhm.
Yes, it would take away
So,
from your pool,
Yeah,
which
so
wounds do. So it would be down. It'd be wounds.
it'd be wounds. Okay. Lovely. Awesome. Cool. So that's 8. Okay. All right. That's where that leaves me. Ooh. Okay. I think I think. Oh man, do I do this? I think I turn to my grandfather and make a point of this is with you guys had just arrived, everything like this. This is my name day celebration. Could we please speak of this later?
So I mean, so is this you influencing? Because if you
This is me trying to drag him in order.
So if you want to try and bring your father in, you will have to make a roll, but there's no guarantee he's going to be on your side. So are you sure you want to do this?
Oh man. Is there anybody else that I can see around me to like
I
possibly?
mean, there's people you know, but none of the named characters we have created
No.
so far.
Because I'm not going to be able to KO her. She's going to be able to do all sorts of junk.
Well, she also doesn't have much dice, so if she takes more frustration, she will like basically not really have much to roll with.
Yeah. Okay. Then I think this is a case of just me trying to influence her, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do enough damage because it's like I'm losing dice also.
Mm-hmm. You know, her intrigue defense is much lower than yours.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to do an influence.
Okay.
We will use a.
You can use a destiny point to give yourself a bonus die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. 9.
You get her. So that is 4 minus 1, so 3. Yeah, so she's brisking on the edge. She doesn't take another point of frustration because she can survive that volley, but she's got not much left. She is going to consider, because God, she needs the bonus dice.
Influence.
Okay.
Just try to knock her out. Yeah, we've got a total of. I feel like this is just. This is where I'm gonna have to use my destiny die everywhere.
Mhm.
We'll use another one. So we'll do that. We'll do this. A 10.
I mean, yeah, you still get her.
Mm.
So she's gonna she's gonna take a point of frustration, and just be like, darling, don't you see what I'm saying? Or like you can be free. Isn't that what you said? What you wanted to do, like those years ago, is that you wanted to be free? Like, I can make you free. And now she's going to make roll.
Destiny die to take away a freaking dice from her dice pool.
Okay, you can't.
I can't.
She
No, damn
only
it.
has 1, and technically she will always roll 1 minimum.
That's fine. She's only got
No.
a die.
She only has a die.
That's
so
cool.
technically has a minus from it because of that. And even with the bonus dice, nope. I mean, she can't. She
can't hit me anymore. It's 12.
I mean, she does have a chance to hit you, sort of, but not really. She can't really influence her, so you gotta kind of take her down.
Lovely. Awesome. Wow, influence. We're gonna save my last one in case I need it. A 6.
Unfortunately, will not.
Yes.
It'll that will
yeah.
commit. She's gonna consider, because she needs to have a chance.
Yeah, there's no way me doing that will do that. Do I consider and try to hit her? Or do I just try to hit her? I feel like...
You just gotta try and hit her.
Yeah. But if she hits me... No, I can take an extra point of frustration. I've got a couple more.
Just punch her. It'll be fine.
Just cold cock her in the face.
Just cold cock your grandma.
Switch to combat. That's what she did.
Yeah, she can take more frustration, but it's just gonna. She won't be able to do anything. She won't be able to win, essentially. So yeah, you knock that last bit off, and she's just kind of. What do you say that sort of convinces her, like, like that this is like I love you, but my plan is to go off and do this.
Oh God, I think I quote like maybe a recent lesson from Septim Myrtle with the crone's wisdom, understanding that some paths go by a way that might be confusing and strange to others, but will ultimately lead to the right road.
Okay, yeah. So I think she's. By the way, the whole conversation, you guys have their hands have been like gripped, like it's just been this the whole time.
It's better than her vigorously shaking me. Yes.
Your grandmother basically kind of grips your hands and looks up at you and kind of goes like, she kind of nods. She goes, well, I think my dear, I will. I'll accept that. I'm very proud of you. Wishing to go on a road less traveled, like believing it, it to be better than drift. Most girls would jump at this chance, live a life of ease. Like, but you wish to learn, more of the world, and I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. No, but I'm still love you, and I am proud of you. And she kind of like pats her hands. He goes, very well. I mean, I didn't get married until I was 17, so like you have time. like, well, enjoy your name day. I don't know how you can with so many people and these horrid creatures about, and it's so warm down here. Why is it so warm? She's a fan, fanning herself.
I think I pat her hand, and it's like, maybe we can find a space inside, and maybe even see if maybe you can even speak of some scripture and things with Septum Myrtle. Maybe that will help.
Perhaps, tonight we have things to do, but yes, perhaps inside. Kind of looks up at your grandfather, and he nods. And he goes, "Good to see you." Mm. Yes, of course, and when the gift giving, starts, don't worry. You can start with mine. It's or perhaps you should try mine last. It's not going to be beaten. And she walks away. Oh, and she stops and turns. Where's your brother?
At this current moment, I'm unsure.
Hard cut to Henrik on a roof.
No, he wasn't on a roof anymore.
Don't look at me like that.
It took quite some time to come and find you. There were many well-wishers. It's possible that he's also been tied up in such manner.
Very well. Very well. Thank you, my dear. I will find him on my own. You there! And then just a servant stops and turns, and goes, "I am grandmother to the heir of House Weirlight, your master. Find him. Tell him his parents wish to wish him well." And engage with him. Can you manage that? And he goes, "Of course, my lady, right away." And he just he looks like he's just got shot, and he just turns and runs. At this point, we're gonna have a break. I know we've been kind of going at a bit of a slower pace, but we will have a break, and we'll come back in about 15 minutes. Thank you so much for coming with us so far. And we'll see what Naimora and Henrik and Vivian are up to when we get back.
And see if Thorsten's killed himself.
Maybe.
He's fine. Doesn't know it yet.
We will be back soon.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, back.